Well, by the end of this video, we're going to be able to do this. The main goal of the video, of course, is to finish our process of adding products to our Firebase database. So by the end of the video, you'll be able to select pictures, and man, you may need to select different pictures, but since I don't have different pictures of the same product, I'm just adding the same. And you'll give the product name, which is going to be filler. We're going to select the category for the product, in our case shoes, and then we're going to select the quantity. Let's suppose 40, and here 1700 is the price, and we can select the sizes of the shoes. And after that is done, you're going to be able to hit the add button, which, because we are adding 3 different images to our Firebase storage, may take a while to load, because we are loading the image 1 and then the image 2 and then the image 3. But this circle progress indicator is going to be loading until the images are done, just like now, and you'll have the notification saying the product was added. And after that is done, we can come to our Firebase storage. And if you go to storage, you'll be able to view the set of images you just added to the database, and these are the images currently present on our storage. And if you go to database and you click on Cloudflare Store, we have products, a new collection called products, and for the products we have different products and products ID. So I hope you guys are excited. If you are, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and see you on the video. Peace. So beautiful people, here's where we left off on our last video, and this is what we're able to do. I'll go to add product, and we can add some products to our Firebase. But now we want to actually upload the images. So I have some images I can use here. In the real world you would have 3 different images, but I'll just repeat the same. Okay, let me go back to the full screen, because now we may need to do this on full screen. There's something I want you guys to understand before we even start coding, that since we are dealing with 3 images, not a single one, we may need, the procedure may be kind of a little bit different, because when you only want to upload the single image, that's easy. But here have to have in mind that we want 3 images, so each product is going to have 3 images belonging to that same product, so that the user will be able to slide when he's viewing the product. So we'll try to do that the best way possible. Now the first thing I want you guys to do in here is, there's something I kind of forgot to add. Final. And now we want to include our Firebase storage, and we'll define this as storage, and it's going to be equal to an instance of the Firebase storage, of course. So a Firebase storage dot instance. So this is what we have. Now I can come in and comment this, our task. So here, let me add something else. Here we have picture, Okay. Okay, for now we can do reference. Oops. So we have an instance of our Firebase storage. We're creating a reference of that, and the child, which is going to be the name of our file on the database, is going to be picture. But since we are going to do this for multiple images, I'll define this as picture 1, and here the path is going to be 1 and task 1. Okay, perfect. And we want to put file, which is the file we are uploading, and the name of the file here is going to be image1. So with this we have our first task. Nothing too fancy. Let me just copy this because we will need 3 of them. So here we will have image URL 1, image URL 2, image URL 3, and we will store the URLs of the images we are uploading on these variables. And here again, let me just do 1 and then this, and this one will just serve to differentiate this file. You'll understand. Let me just copy and paste this. So we will try to follow this approach. Copy and paste it. So of course here we may need to declare this as picture2, and for the name of the file, which is going to be the name of our database, is going to be 2. Then this is going to be a unique name, so I'm giving different numbers to make sure that the name is going to be unique. And we are going to define this guy here as the task 2, and here is going to be picture 2, and we are going to upload image 2. And finally here we have picture 3 here, and task is going to be task 3 storage reference. Which picture we want to upload here is picture 3, and finally here we have image 3. So if I'm not mistaken, these methods are future methods, so we can put a sync in here, and here for the task 1, let me make sure we're doing okay. We don't get a future, so it's okay. So here's the tricky part, because I didn't really test this theory, and I'm testing now on tape, on video, and let's hope everything will run just perfectly fine. So what are we going to do? We are going to put here task 3 dot, and of course we want to check when our task T is completed, meaning the last image, which is the image 3, is uploaded to the database. And when that is done, we are going to get a storage task snapshot. And okay, let me do something here. I can create a, let's create a storage task snapshot, and we're going to call this snapshot 1 for the first image. And what are we going to do here? We're going to take the task 1 on complete, then we have here the snapshot, and what we want to do is basically to return the snapshot. And probably we may need to await here. So what are we doing here? Here we are saying that when the task 1 is complete, or when the first image is uploaded, we want to return this snapshot to snapshot 1. And then let's create another storage task snapshot, and we're going to call this snapshot 2, and it's going to have the same flow. So I can just copy this. So when the task 2 is completed, we want to do the same thing. But now for the last image, we are going to be a bit different. The approach we're going to follow is a bit different. And here we're going to do snapshot, which is the snapshot we are returning. I can put just snapshot 3 to make sure we don't run into any confusions. And we're going to create an asynchronous method in here. Okay, so what are we going to do inside of this asynchronous method is the following. First of all, we will take our variable we created for the image URL 1, and we are going to set it equal to snapshot 1. Or we have to await because we may be dealing with a future here. So snapshot 1 dot ref, we are getting the reference of the snapshot 1 dot, we want get download URL. And what this is going to do, a simple thing, is going to return a future string containing the download URL for that particular image, so that we can access the image, we can download it and do whatever we want with it. I'll copy and I'll paste it here. And now we want the image URL 2 is going to be equal to the snapshot 2, again get download image, and finally for our image URL 3, which is the final, is going to be equal to await snapshot 3 ref get download URL. So what are we doing here? We are inserting the values of the URLs we are going to get after we upload the images to our storage. Then we want to get the URL for those images, and we are going to place those URLs into these variables. Okay, And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we have to do for now. um, we can go to our, now we can follow, we could follow two approaches, because we could create a different file to upload these images, to upload this into, I'm sorry, where is the file? Now at this stage we have the URLs of the images. What we want to do is to insert those values inside our database. So what I'm doing is, as you see, we did here with the brand and the products, we created a different file that is going to deal with the database operations. But for this case in particular, I don't know which approach is the best. Okay, let us work the proper way. And here, let's create a new file, and we're going to call this product. Here we have the file product, and what we're going to do, we're going back to the brand, just copy everything, and we'll just eliminate what we don't need. Where is our product file? Here we have it. Paste it, and upload product. We can call this that, and in here we're going to take a map, and details is going to be the name of this. And here we are going to use the product ID. So we are generating again an ID for our project using our UID. You just paste it here. The name of our collection is going to be products. And in here we will just set details. So we don't need any of these functions here for now. So what are we doing here? Doing a small recap. Oh, and we would need to change the name of this to product service. I'm doing this because I don't want to write everything from scratch, since we're using the same logic. But what are we doing here is pretty simple. I don't need to use this for now. It's pretty simple. We are basically creating a class, product service, and then we're creating instance of our file store. We have our reference called products, which is going to be the name of our collection. And then we have this method called upload product. Then we have ID, and we are generating our own ID for the product. And we are doing here collection name products, and we are going to insert a document of this product ID. And then we are going to set data is equal to this. Okay, and let us see which type of information can we transmit to our product. um, we may need to import that file in here. Then we have the product service, and imported. Oops, I guess I imported the wrong thing. Okay. Okay. Here we have the product service, and this is going to be a product service. So we're going to create an object of the type product service. I don't know what's the issue. Oh, okay. I'm putting minus here, not equal. That's the issue. Okay. Now we have that out of the way. And from the product, what do we want? The product name. So let's redefine this in here. And I don't want to, I changed my mind about this. Let us do something like this. And we want a string product name, and then we will want another string for the brand, and then we will want, and you'll understand why am I doing this in a while. Another string for the category, so I have the product name, the product brand, the category, and we will want a list for the sizes, and a list for the images. And here we're going to have the images URL, and of course, how come I forgot to set the price? Let's create a double, which is going to hold the price. Okay. So what are we going to do in here is basically we're going to create name, and for this we're going to have product name. And I did this because it would be easier for us to come and edit this in the future. For example, I want the ID, and I'll just insert here the product ID. If we want the brand, we can just insert here brand, and then we want the category, what else? Then we have a list of sizes. Let's do one thing. Let's see which fields we have available in here. Sizes, we have quantity, and quantity can be an int, no problem. And we would need probably a list of colors, but okay, we will deal with that, not now. That's not super important. Okay, if we go back here to our add product, there's something I would like to add. We have here to our quantity is of course our price. So we will need to create a price controller for this, and since this doesn't exist, we will copy and come here, and we will just have here a final price controller is equal to text editing controller. Done. We have our price controller now, because I forgot to add the price field, and we do have a lot of things here, and we can just write price blah blah blah. Initial value, we're going to put here 1, because the quantity cannot be empty. Label text quantity, and label text for this is going to be price, and of course our initial value is going to be 0.00. If I try to run this, let us see what we have. Okay, let's hit our manage. Okay, we have here our initial value controllers. Okay, I don't know what's the issue or which one of these fields has one, but it seems like the issue is with our initial values in here. So let's just stop this and run the app for me. Okay, while the app is running, to avoid wasting time, we have all of this information now, and what are we going to do? Is, since we already have that function, we will just put here product service dot upload product, and to make sure these products will always be passed, these values, these parameters will always be passed, we can add required in here. Can this work? No, it cannot. Okay, so I guess it's not really a deal to do it like that, but I'm doing this to ensure that all our positional parameters are going to be passed correctly. Okay, let me take a look at the app, and here's what we have now. Let me show you guys. This is what we have now. Let me go back. I didn't like it very much. let's go back. Put this on full screen. Product name. Let's remove the label text. We'll just leave the hint in there. And we will oh. We have an issue somewhere. It's in here. Okay. Let's create a list of the type string called image list, and it's going to be simply equal to image URL1, image URL2, and finally image URL3. Okay, and let me have a sneak peek at the app in here. And this is what we have on our app, and I don't really like the way this is squished. But to solve this issue, to avoid displaying things like that, what we can do is we can go up here and decrease the size of our image boxes. Talking about the display 1 and display 2. And here for the padding, instead of 70, let's try to give it 50 to make sure everything will be well visible on the screen. 50. Okay, my heart reload is not working as a control save. Let's try like this. Okay, and now our problems are solved, because here we have what we need. Perfect. Let's wrap this thing up right now. For the product name, we are going to provide product name controller dot text. And for the price, we're going to provide price controller dot text, but we may have some issues here. Which of the methods? So we'll parse the price controller dot text into our double, so we can assign, because the value of price is a double, not a string. Okay, so what else do we want? For the sizes, we'll make this equal to selected sizes. For the images. We'll make this equal to our image list, and for the quantity controller dot text. But I guess that it's an integer, so I can simply do int dot parse, and we're going to parse this string. Okay, so if this is right, we may need to, let's go back to our form key current state reset, and we'll copy this Flutter toast, and we will write here product added to. Okay, there's a lot of things going on here, but it's time to see if things are working. I already closed the app. I'll just run the app again, and hopefully nothing breaks, because there was a lot of code going on here. And now we still have to configure our app to iOS, but that's not a big deal. That's something we're going to do. And another note I have for you guys is that I will upload some videos soon about streams, to be more specific, the block pattern and RX Dart, because that's something super useful, and I would like to start using that on our app, and mainly because we are going to be dealing with a lot of data. We may even create our own API, so that's something I want you guys to have in mind. Okay, we have here our app. Now it's time to test it to see if everything's fine. So let's add some random images. Um, and I'll write here shoes. For the category, I can put shoes. Quantity available, I will put 15. Price is going to be 1,500. For the available sizes, we have 36, 38, 40, 44, and 42. Add product. Oh, we still have to configure the function, the method to be called when the add product button is tapped. Validate and load. So hold up, we have validate and load. Oh, the operations are already we were supposed to write a code that's going to express okay, the product was added, but my problem was this. We are supposed to write a code that when the app is loading, when something is loading, is going to display to the user that something is loading. Okay, so how can we do that? Let's go up on our widget tree, and here we have a column. So what I can do here is I can wrap this column inside of a stack, Or else, instead of doing that, let's create a boolean here just to finish our video. Bool called is loading, which by default is false, and then here on our child we'll just take is loading. We will check is loading, so if is loading is equal to true, we want to display circular progress indicator. So what are we doing here? We are creating this variable is loading, and circular progress, if it's true, we are going to have here circular progress indicator, and if it's false, we are going to simply have our column. Sorry, we can wrap this inside of a column of a center widget. Oops, not that. I wanted to wrap this here. It's wrapping the wrong thing. Okay, we'll come back to that. Here on our validate function, we will do the following. So if that is valid, first we are going to set is loading equals true. Let's make use of a fed arrow function. So as soon as that happens, we want is load to be equal to true, and if all of this is true here, we are going to set our is loading equal to false. And the same thing in here, the same thing in here. Okay, hopefully now we can run the app. Hopefully now we can just go and run our app. Let's add another product. Now we have these shoes here. Product name, Balenci, category, shoes, quantity 58, price, and finally the sizes. We're just going to pick random sizes, add product, and you can see that now something is processing. So we have our circular progress indicator, and this is going to be doing this until our loading is complete. And keep in mind that we are adding 3 pictures to the database, so this may take a while. But if you come here to our, now the product was added. Okay, so after the product is added, what we can do is let's create a set state, not using a fed arrow because we may need to set a lot of things here. First we'll copy this, paste it here. What we want to clear the image URLs. No, we don't need to clear the image URLs. We can just clear the image files. How can we go about doing this? Oh, better yet, instead of doing this like that, we can just do this and navigator. We're going to do a pop from this context, and this is all we need to do for now. Let's go to our Firebase and try to see if we are able to see the changes done. So if we go to our Firebase storage, and this may take a while loading, and if you see, we have a lot of images here on our storage, and basically the image that we've added. But let's go to our database and see how it is structured. And if you go to our database, we have a new collection called products here. And for the product, okay, I can see now that we have some issues passing some of these variables, and this is something we may need to fix. But no, that's not a big fix. We are going to fix this on our next videos, because we are getting null for the brand and the category. But okay, that's not a big issue. We are able to get our images on our database, and we have the new collection. We are just making sure, we are going to make sure that these values are filled correctly. The video was very long, but if you guys liked it, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because that helps a lot. And see you guys on the next one. Bye.